Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe where we help and heal one day at a time. So this narcissist put us on a pedestal. And then what happened? So sometimes it could be a parent with a child where they thought they would have the best child out of everybody in the world. The relationship, they thought they would have the best mate out of everybody. So they create this image in their head of exactly what they want. And they just take something that they think they can mold. So they kind of build us up and put us on this pedestal. And they purposely do it to kind of knock us down. In the beginning, sometimes it's cruel intent. They purposely do it. Other times it's just them trying to get this perfect life that they envision, that they feel they're entitled to. And then reality sets in. And so they got to get their egos stroked. So what they do is when they knock us down, we try to get back on that pedestal because that felt so good. And we know it's achievable. We were at that state. We think it was real. You know, the compliments that we got, that they were real. The encouragement that we got was real. The time was desired by both of us. But they were doing it to set us up. So whenever you're in a narcissistic relationship, it will set you up to fail. They will knock you off that pedestal as a way of getting us to do more so they can do less. They put the effort in the beginning, and they know, you know, just like a little kid going, please, 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 and being on their best behavior till they get what they want, and then they go back to their old ways. So as soon as that narcissist gets what they want, a lot of times that's, if it's in a marriage, a lot of times, as soon as that marriage happens, they start, you know, just like that little kid, like, I got what I wanted, now I can act how I want. So the narcissist, when they start taking away, knocking us off that pedestal, we start trying harder. So when we try harder, they don't have to do anything. And they have learned how to get the most for the least effort. So when they start to see that we're about to lose it, like we can't try anymore, that's when they'll give us those little breadcrumbs. And if you notice, you know, when is the narcissist willing to try? When you're about to leave? Do they out of the blue just try? Sometimes this is where it gets confusing. Let's say they wanted to have sex that night, so you know, they do certain things, whether, oh, that was so sweet, they made me dinner or cleaned or whatever it is. They are always doing ulterior motives. It's not for their partner, it's for their reward in the end. And it gets really frustrating when we try. Normally others will try too, you know, just like how smiles are contagious. You know, you would think kindness is contagious. So if I smile, you're going to smile. It just happens. They also say it with yawns. A lot of times it's just, you know, like a chain reaction. So you think you're trying, of course you're going to try more because things are getting better. But it gets exhausting when, you know, or it knocks you down on top of what they knocked you down. It knocks you down even more because you expect just the normal reactions, and you try all these different ways because you're like, oh, I thought that would encourage them to pick up on this, or maybe we should talk about it, or whatever. If you notice in these narcissistic relationships, there's a lot of questions that we have, and they hate questions. They make us confused. They make us start to become insecure because we don't know what they like about us, because they change it. They cut us down. They confuse us. They tell us something one time and then it's completely different the other time. And they purposely do this confusion so they don't have to commit. They don't have to express their wants. So we're sitting there, we don't know what you want. So, okay, I'll make this fancy dinner. I guess that wasn't the right one. I'll try this, I'll try that. We're always trying to figure it out. So every time we figure it out, they just got how many excellent dinners instead of just grilled cheese. We tried and tried and tried and tried. So we're putting all this effort in, and each meal or each whatever we try is good. You know, that they don't even have to if they just said, I don't know, I'd like filet mignon tonight. And so that's what we made. And they were happy. Well, the next day, we might just give them grilled cheese or whatever. Like it was a busy day at work. But when they don't tell us what they want, they'll, uh, or they confuse us on what they want, we're always trying and trying and trying. And the more we try, the less they have to do. They just get us, stroking their ego, that we're willing to go above and beyond, that we're, in a sense, kind of like love bombing them back, putting the effort in, giving them good things all the time, effort. And, when they knock us down, it's like, okay, now I got to try harder. And it's a big mind game. They're never happy. Um, Sometimes, when things, they know that they have to give us breadcrumbs every now and then. So that's when we're like, okay, cool. That's when we get back into our relaxed state. And the messed up part is when they're in a relaxed state, they have to throw it off. They cannot feel comfortable in their own mind, not their body, but their mind. So they have to create that chaos. That's why they can pull from that pedestal. They're pulling and pulling and pulling, but over time, they're going to pull everything from us. And that's when, we want to give up, not really, but we don't know what else to do because it becomes so unhealthy. And that's the thing, is when it is unhealthy, it does damage us physically, our brain, our bodies, our social networks, our ability to concentrate, to sleep. It destroys so much of our lives. And this is over us trying to make somebody happy. I mean, I really want you guys to take that to heart. Like, our lives are being destroyed because we want somebody to be happy, and then we get more frustrated. And then that's where the trauma bond comes, because we've already invested so much into this person. We see, that pedestal's right there. And, just like if you were to invest in, I don't know, let's say gymnastics your whole life, you're doing gymnastics, and you see the medals that you've gotten, and you can achieve it. But if you lose a couple times, you're gonna be like, okay, I should be a swimmer. It's not gonna cross your mind because you've already invested this much. This is your forte. And that was kind of how we see the relationship, is that was our forte. That was everything we wanted. Like, why go after something else when it's right there? It is achievable. But the narcissist will never put us back onto that pedestal. It was a future fake, to where we think we're going to go through life in this beautiful life with them. But once they start to devalue you, it's like a dinged up car. It's never going to be the same. No matter how much you clean it or wax it or shine it, it's always going to have some dings. We're never going to get back to where we were before with the narcissist. And that's what's so frustrating, because you can work on your body, you can work on your career, you can do this, you can do that. They overlook everything, because in the back of their mind, they're like, yeah, this person's dinged up. I dung them up, but dinged them up. But the narcissist just doesn't have an appreciation for us as people. I mean, honestly, look at, when we're trying to figure out, do they really love us? What was it that they did for us? Did they bring us flowers? Did they do this? Did they do that? Which is nice, but did they cuddle with you when you lost a friend or family member? Did they offer to do certain things unselfishly? Or like I said, that's where it gets confusing. Sometimes they will purposely offer things that we feel are heartfelt, but it's really just, let's say they wanted to make a big purchase and they want us on their side. Oftentimes they would just go do it. But if they're at least somewhat cordial, they'll talk to you about it, but they'll set the stage for us to say yes or whatever, where they're like, oh, why don't we go to your families this weekend? And then maybe we can stop by a car dealership. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, they're finally coming to my families. And it's like, no, they did that to kind of be like using it against us, or for their purpose. So narcissists are very odd. And it's really sad that, you know, it seems this is where it's hard. It seems like it's so possible to get back to that, but it was fake. So how do you get back to the true pedestal when it was fake? And even if you do get back to that spot, it's going to be fake. Right now I could be Miss America, but unless I really won, it doesn't really feel good saying, I'm Miss America, because it's kind of like it's not real. Um, just like, your relationship. I had the love of my life. I had the love of my life, but it's not real. So does it really feel good? You know, don't live in a fantasy world like the narcissist, because living a fantasy is empty. Just like if I did brag, I miss America, like that's empty. That's not stroking my ego. It's living a lie. And getting back into a relationship with a narcissist is just living a lie. Even if you can say, I had the love of my life, um, you know, it's a lie. And that narcissist will never allow us our happiness, because they don't like us being happy. They need to take from us, because it's almost like they're jealous or uncomfortable that the attention's taken off of them, and they'll destroy your life. So just think about it, keep healing, be a soul survivor, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.